Hey guys, so let's talk about Signature Bank and what happened to them on Sunday evening as part of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, and why Signature Bank out of New York was basically shut down. It was nothing to do with being insolvent. This, I think, has everything to do with them being a very crypto-friendly bank. So regulators closed crypto-focused Signature Bank, citing systemic risk, which basically all that means is they were afraid that the possibility would exist that if Signature collapsed, it would be more of a domino, that other banks would shut down. All right, so New York State regulators on Sunday shut down Signature Bank, a big lender. Yeah, it was one of the only few banks that crypto exchanges, and not so much as investors, individuals, but more as exchanges utilized to have their funds. And because again, we know in crypto it's 24/7. The stock market, it's Monday through Friday from this time to this time. With crypto, you can trade 24/7. So they needed to have a lot of liquidity, so these exchanges would use Signature as part of their where they would hold their funds. Everything because of the centralized banking system is just a disaster, and we saw that on Friday. It's mismanaged, it's poorly operated, and it's just and they accuse crypto of being risky. Anyway, let's keep going. So Signature is one of the main banks in the cryptocurrency industry, the biggest one next to Silvergate, which is no longer around anymore. December 31st, Signature has over $110 billion in assets and $86.6 billion in total deposits. All right, so why regulators see Signature Bank in the third biggest bank failure in United States history? So I'm really not going to go into all the specifics of this article. I will post it in the description box if you want to take a look at it. But basically, Signature Bank, of course, as we know, is a very crypto-friendly bank. It's one of the only few. Silvergate and Signature are really only two where crypto exchanges would basically park their money. But I want to go down to the very bottom of this, and I want to get kind of right to basically the main point of what is happening. Another bank that has been under pressure. Okay. For his part, Frank, who helped draft the landmark Dodd-Frank Act after the 2008 financial crisis, said there was no objective reason that Signature had to be seized. I think part of what is happening was the regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message, Frank said. We become the poster boy, because there was no insolvency based on the fundamentals. Okay, so this is something that affects all of us. With these banks that are crypto friendly, that work with crypto exchanges, it makes it much more difficult for these exchanges to operate, for liquidity purposes as well, at least in the United States. And this is not financial advice, this is just my own opinion, but we are seeing a calculated, deliberate attack on cryptocurrency with this Operation Choke Point 2.0 sort of thing going on. And this is part of it. Basically what's happening here and why this is so important is now that with Silvergate down, with Signature Bank no longer, and they were totally good. Yes, they had a run on deposits on Friday, but that was slowing. That wasn't a systemic, that was more of a contagion. People were just kind of freaking out a little bit. But by Sunday morning, things were slowing down. They weren't worried, and then all of a sudden regulators came in and shut them down. Now, what will be happening is those who have accounts with Signature Bank in New York, all right, so they have different offices, but the New York branch is the one that was more kind of focused on crypto, right? Is that investors will be made whole, but there was they were whole in the first place. There was really no reason. There was no fear amongst people that, executives at Signature Bank, they were confident. This kind of took them totally by surprise. It took all of us by surprise. Now, I did a video yesterday saying that they had collapsed. So they did not collapse. They were shut down, right? Silicon Valley Bank, they collapsed, okay? They collapsed, but not Signature Bank. So what this means now is it's going to be interesting to see where this takes us from here. Now, the interesting thing about this is that crypto is resurging right now, right? And before I came on and did this video, I looked and Bitcoin is just under 26,000. And in the past day, since yesterday, we're up almost 7%. And crypto across the board is in the green. So what this tells me is that people are diversifying their portfolios. They're actually, I kind of look at it as a good thing, because what's happening is people are saying, wait a minute, you're coming after crypto, you're coming after blockchain. This is a bigger issue. The centralized banking, in my view, I'm not a financial advisor, but in my view, is broken. When you're able to basically, cut off that conduit from like a centralized institution, right, to crypto, where do you, how do you connect the two? So anyway, I wanted to come on and talk about Signature Bank, that really, it was a forced collapse, right? It was a forced collapse. They were shut down Sunday evening. So I want to make sure that I'm clear about that, because I want to make sure that they did not collapse. The regulators came in and shut them down. Try to have a good rest of your day. And here at the Crypto Dojo, crypto never sleeps.